Now, the new batch of Johnson & Johnson vaccines has arrived. This is part of the Sisonke trial program to inoculate healthcare workers. Over 280,000 vaccines have been administered so far. eNCA's Heidi Jokos is following that story and joins us now for an update from the OR Tambo International Airport. Locate for us then where this fits, Heidi, the latest, a batch of Johnson & Johnson vaccines to arrive. How does it fit in with this first phase of the program to vaccinate healthcare workers in South Africa?
Well, one must remember, Tulas, that the Sisonke trial is set to conclude this week or next week. And one must remember that the reason the Sisonke trial was initially implemented was when government needed to get a COVID-19 vaccine into the country as quickly as possible after the AstraZeneca vaccine program was put on hold. And in order for a vaccine to actually be approved by the medicine regulator, it takes about 90 days to do so. And of course, government did not have that time on their hands, and this is why the Sisonke trial was implemented, which allowed for a study and emergency use of a vaccine, which we saw with the Sisonke trial. So initially, Johnson & Johnson had secured about 500,000 of those vaccines for South Africa. They initially administered or handed out about 300,000 of those vaccines, which we have seen in the country to date, and now about 200,000 of these vaccines are still outstanding. We understand that one batch arrived today. We're not exactly sure of the amount of vaccines, but we know that in the next couple of days, the second batch of the 200,000 will arrive in the country. Of course, we do know that that plane touched down today at about 9:30, and 2 trucks carrying those vaccines were transported, of course, to an unknown facility. We're not sure where, but a biovac facility, and then soon after that, it will be taken to the various provinces and vaccination centers to continue inoculating healthcare workers. So all of this, Tulas, we must highlight that it forms part of the Sisonke trial, which is set to conclude. And of course, what the health minister indicated just last week is that the country is expected to receive more vaccines this week from Johnson & Johnson and possibly Pfizer in big amounts, because we do know that Pfizer and Johnson & Johnson have been approved by the medicine regulator.
All right, thank you for that. That's eNCA's Heidi Jokos outside the OR Tambo International Airport here in Gauteng, in the area of Boksburg there, tracking the arrival of the Johnson & Johnson vaccines, the last batch that forms part of that implementation study for healthcare workers.